Yeah. So this is the scenario. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, cool. So this is the number one scenario that most of our clients are asking us to, work for. It is called generating a sales pipeline through LinkedIn Sales Navigator. I mean, a lot of words here. I mean, does everybody understand what is a sales pipeline? Do we all understand what is a sales pipeline? I'll explain it anyways. It's basically, trying to get a number of sales opportunities to sell your, product or service. That's what it is. And a lot of LinkedIn, if you remember, it came more or less like a resume website. It is the Facebook for professional people, right? You don't do social things on LinkedIn. But over a period of time, LinkedIn has really become a product for generating sales pipeline. Where the owner of a company or a leader of a company can contact another leader of another company, showcasing his products or services in front of them. So this is the scenario that most of our clients now want to do every single day. So I've taken the scenario and basically, split that into many steps. We're just going to quickly run through the steps, and guys, please stop me if you don't understand any of these steps. Right? We'll see the steps end to end, and then we'll come back and look at each step, separately. So here are the first 6 steps. Right? Let me just quickly go through them. Understand the challenge, its nuances, the industry of your client. So for example, we've always been looking at the buck chicks, the 2 teachers in the US who are teaching social emotional learning. We've been looking at them for a long time. So, we can take them as an example, or we can look at another example, another client who wants to actually work with you guys. We can take, his business also as another example. So what do we understand very clearly? What is the challenge for the buckchicks.com website? Do we understand the nuances of their industry? Do we know who else is competing for the same product? Who else is having a very similar kind of a product? And do we know how are the buckchicks currently marketing their product or the service? Right. So that is the first step. We need to go around and find this. Find the thing, right? So that's the number one step. And whatever we find, we need to tabulate. I'll go to that next slide, and then I'll explain this. So the first thing is understand their world, their challenge. The second is, once you've understood your client and what they have to offer, many times we have to, very clearly be able to write that understanding or, redefine that understanding sometimes. But fundamentally, we need to, write the story that we want to put in front of buckchicks clients or buckchicks potential buyers. Yeah. So this is a very crucial step, which is the story itself is not more than maybe 10 lines, 10, 20 lines maximum. You don't want to tell like a long story. You want to tell why. You want to start with why. Why did buckchicks do this? What's the benefit for the teachers to learn from them? How will the students finally end up learning social emotional learning? So you have to be able to write a story. The story is just 10 lines, and you have to share that story that you wrote with your client, right, and get it approved and say, okay. So the first step, guys, again I'm repeating, the first step is know your client, who they are, who their industry, who their competition. Second step, right? Yes, Karthik.
No, the point, let us say you are a doctor.
Yeah.
You say understand the patient. With years and years of experience, you know what it means. I don't think everybody can easily fully understand what we saying here when you say understand the challenge. So
yeah, no, I'll give an example, Karthik. I'm going to give an example. In bugchicks.com itself, I was able to do this very clearly. I'll come to that challenge very, very quickly, right? So just to maybe even answer that question, Karthik, when Bugchicks came to us as a client, right? They asked me, I asked them, what do they do? They said they teach using bugs. Okay, they teach using bugs. So they go to a school, they bring bugs with them, insects with them, spiders, etc., etc., and then they use, those spiders and those insects and to the students. So students are really engaged, and it took me more than 30 minutes of questioning to understand what they're really teaching. I initially thought they were teaching science because the whole thing was about insects and biology and those kind of things, right? I thought they are really teaching something, but then after a long interrogation or questioning, I understood that they are teaching social emotional learning, and I was a bit shocked. I mean, like, what is social emotional learning and bugs? I couldn't even find the connection, right? But I think that is what is really important. Then they went on to tell me that social emotional learning is one of the top 10 skills needed in the world, for the future. Current schools do not teach social emotional learning in a very practical, critical way. Therefore, these people chose bugs and insects as a mechanism to teach social emotional learning. This is the story. Once this story was here, then we all were very clear. Okay, what to tell the potential buyers. I hope that makes it clear, Karthik.
Okay, so it's essentially, I took it as understanding the customers or the people who we are talking about, their challenges, but it's not actually their challenge, but it is more about them, yeah?
It's when I say customer, it's basically a client, right? So a client, for example, in this case, Bugchicks is trying to hire us, and we are having this conversation with Bugchicks. Yeah. And Bugchicks is simply telling us, they want to sell a teaching product using bugs as a mechanism to teach. So I immediately thought it was some biology, but a lot of digging later, we found they are teaching a very important skill set that all their students need desperately, and the United States schools do not provide that critical skills in a very formal pathway. So they are getting a lot of traction using this approach. But honestly, even for an experienced person like me, it took me a long time to understand that. So that's what I'm trying to tell everybody, that do not simply assume if a client is selling some simple stuff, let's say a toothpaste or a dentistry or a teaching thing. Do not simply assume that it's really simple. Just try to dig down, because it's very important for you to redefine that offering so that you can write the story of what they are trying to sell. That's really important. That's point number 2. Point number 3 is I have already taken this class. It was a 2-hour class. Convert the story. It's there as a video. Go, please look at it. Convert the storyline you wrote to a video approximately 140 seconds long. Right? Why 140 seconds? Because many websites, and like for example Twitter, does not allow you to post videos longer than 140 seconds. So try to keep the story short, right, and sweet and to the point, right? And create this video using lumen5.com. I have already taught this. You guys can go take a look at how to do this. It should take you less than a couple of hours to do this kind of a thing for a client. 2 to 3 hours, and then maybe again and again sharing it with the client. For example, a number of our refugee graduates, right? They have done this, I think, hundreds of times so far. And I would say the most important thing in creating the storyline into a video is feedback. Ask your friends for feedback. Ask your family for feedback. Ask your colleagues for feedback. Ask your client for feedback. and keep on, making the story better and better and better, and therefore a better video that is very crisp. Okay, so that's a third point. You have to create a video to convey the message, right, that you want to put in front of all your potential buyers. Is that clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah, clear.
Farouk, I'm not able to hear you. Anybody asking a question? Okay, no, okay, fair enough. Let's continue. So that's 3. Number 4, identify the target audience to whom the story should be served. And here we are again talking about LinkedIn Sales Navigator only, right? So again, I have already gone through this very, in detail, how to go to LinkedIn Sales Navigator, how to identify the target audience, etc., etc. I will obviously, go into each of these steps a little bit more. You will typically not have access to a LinkedIn Sales Navigator. It's a product that costs $100 or so per month to buy. So usually, our client, buy it for themselves. So for example, in this case, Buckchicks will buy LinkedIn Sales Navigator for their account, and then they will give us their credentials. So we will take the credentials of Buckchicks for LinkedIn Sales Navigator in order to identify the 4th step. Okay, that's how we have been doing what for all our clients. All our clients have licensed LinkedIn Sales Navigator. It is not a free product. It costs roughly around $100 a month. So most of our clients will buy this product and give their credentials to us. Okay.
And I think I put his hand up.
Yes, Aisha?
I think I saw someone's hand up.
Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. Okay, please go ahead. Yeah. Whose hand is up?
Yeah, it was me.
Yes.
I had a point on number understanding the client, whereby I had a point that you can even try to understand what makes the client best than any other competitor, so that you can market in that way, in that storyline.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's important. Either you find what makes them unique, okay? Either you find what makes them unique, or ask the client what makes them unique. You have to find their uniqueness, right? Because you have to tell that in your story, correct? If you don't, if you cannot find the unique reason why the client is so successful, or why he wants the buyers to buy it, you will really struggle to put that story into your video. Are you with me, Jean-Marie? Right? Don't rush and create a video, right, until you find the unique reason why people will buy their product. Okay, that's very important, because you will do a lot of things and waste your time if you don't have a punchy reason why the client will buy it from you. Okay, so be very, very careful, Jean-Marie. It's a very good question. You must find the key reason why everybody will buy it. It's like the golden, whatever, it's really important that it's a golden key, right? So yeah, that's a good question, and you need to definitely know the answer to that before you start creating your videos. Okay, so that's the 3rd step. The 4th step is identifying the target audience, right? Using LinkedIn Sales Navigator. I've already shown you this. You should all know how to do this, but I will again show this to you today, right? And then step 5 is split the audience into lots of 2,000 people. Okay, because why am I saying this? It's sometimes the number of potential buyers for, let's say, buckchicks.com could be in 100,000 potential buyers. If you have 100,000 potential buyers, when you search for them in LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you have to split them up into groups of 2,000 people at the max, right? So then you will get around 50 different groups. You can group them by city, you can group them by industry, you can group them by their job role, etc., etc. I'll teach how to do this, but it's important to deal with a sizable number of people, not like 100,000 people. You don't know, you cannot deal with 100,000 potential buyers. It's a lot of people. So you have to break them into chunks of 2,000 in order to, process them, in the right way, right? And then the last step in this, there are 3 parts to this. And the last step in this is agree the sequence or priority of reaching out to these potential buyers for each set of these 2,000 buyers, right? So for example, if there are 100,000 people and you have split them into 50 lots, right, 2,000 each, you have to have an agreement with your client. Which 2,000 people will you reach out first? Which 2,000 people you'll reach out next, second, third, fourth, like that, right? So that the most important buyers are reached out first and second and third. This is something that you must agree with your client, right? So what have we done in step 1 to 6? We have understood the client, we have understood their offer, we have created a storyline, converted into a video, we have identified the target audience, we have split the target audience into batches of 2,000 people, we have agreed the sequence of reaching out to these people. Any questions so far on this? I'll just pause for a second. Yeah, so this is really important. This is the first part of it. Any questions, any doubts, any comments? I think
Yes, I think you also, this is really powerful and nice. So maybe, I don't know if you will be later, if you are going to go through that Sales Navigator and see how it works.
Yeah. No, I'm going to go it right now, actually. So I'm going to show you right now because there is more steps, just quickly I'll show you. So this is the first 6 steps, right, which we just went through. There is, again, step 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then there is 13, 14, 15. But I don't want to go through all steps. First I want to show you the 6 steps that we've just said. How to understand the challenge, etc., etc. If I just put this question across to you, I say you have to go and understand about the client. How will you do it? Can somebody give me a way you will do it? How will you research about the client? Where will you go to find about their competitors? And how will you find what they are currently doing for marketing their own products? Can somebody, Muhammad, Bahana, Karthik, where will you do this? How will you research the client?
Yes, can I start?
Yes.
I think first of all, I can just go to their website.
Mm-hmm.
And go to their about and understand them what they are doing.
Yep.
And also I go through the people who are doing the same.
Mm-hmm.
To understand also what are they doing, and
yes.
Also research about the best maybe other same people who share the same niche with my clients who are doing the best.
Absolutely.
Then from there, maybe I can gather a lot of information that can help me to know more about the client.
That is absolutely right. Absolutely right. How will you find their competitors? You can understand by going to their website. Many people don't talk about their competitors on their website, right? Mostly they won't. It's very important you find out who their competitors are. And let's go to the third question. How will you find, what they are currently doing for marketing their products? They've not hired you. You are not working for them yet. You want to know what they're already doing for marketing their product. Do they already have a video? Do they already have a, how will you find that out? Anybody? No. So, these are the 4 ways I thought, I will do it. Not rocket science. I'll go to their website. I think Jean-Marie told this or somebody told this. I will Google for their product or service and find out who else is selling the same thing, right? If I Google for that thing, usually it comes, Third, I will visit all their social media profiles. I'll go to their Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and see, what they are doing in their Facebook profile. Like bugchicks.com, I'll go to their profile and see, what is their pinned tweet or pinned, post, right? I will also go to all their competitors' profiles, social profiles, and see how they are marketing, right? And then I will document all this stuff in a small, PPT or a slide deck and play back to my client, because that's very important. Whatever you understood from their website, social media, wherever, you have to document it and play it back to the client. Okay, so that's really important. So this is what I think you should be doing. Whatever let me just quickly show that to you so that it's really clear. So I will start with going into, let's say, bugchicks.com, right? That's where I'll go. I'll just first go find out what do they do, and then as soon as I'm here, I try to find out, okay, they are scientists, they're educators, they are also friends. It looks like they're selling some $5 video workshops, and they're also selling premium content or something like that. Yeah, I mean, I'll go through all these things. I'll take hours and hours to go through this so that I will understand what they're up to, some classroom sessions, etc. The next immediate thing I'll go to is their Facebook page. I mean, not just Facebook. I'll also go to Facebook. I'll go to their Twitter. I'll go to their Instagram, right? Because I want to know what the hell they're doing, in their thing. So, you understood something from here, from their website. You may understand a few more things, from going to. They're quite good. If you look at their Twitter, there is 12,000 followers already. That's a decent number, right? And then you can look at what are they trying to do? One thing I noticed when I looked at their thing, okay, it is heavily, if you look at, even if you look what they are doing, right, the emphasis is on entomology, arthropods, etc. And it's not about SEL. I don't know how many people even know SEL. It's social emotional learning, empathy, bias, empowerment. I feel this part is little bit not given emphasis. Anyways, I think these are very, very small nuances. But I want you to go through their website and everything, to understand, what are they really trying to do, and document it, in a bunch of things, right? That's really important. I can also show you, another client, who wants to actually join us. So, but anyway, let's finish Bugchicks. So this is what I will do, and the way I will search for any other people is, I'll search for social emotional learning in the US, and see if who else is actually providing it. So it looks like CASEL is an organization. See, this is also another interesting thing. I don't know whether I can find out where Bugchicks actually come here. If I search social emotional learning in the US, if you look at the Google search result, right, Bugchicks is not to be seen anywhere. As in, like, we need to find out if they are really there. Let me just do a Control F. No, they're not there. They're not there in the first page of Google search, which is very interesting, but because they're not really putting the word social emotional learning everywhere. So that's another important understanding. So it's okay to go to casel.org and look at what are they teaching, right? How are they? It's important to go to their Facebook page and see what have they got, right? Not bad. There are more than 28,000 people who follow. They have a framework for social emotional learning. it's quite good actually, right? It's quite a decent social emotional learning, center. So it's important to I understand what do they do. Okay, I hope you guys get the thing. So that's first, understand the challenge, understand what the client has to offer. Converting the storyline to a 140 seconds video, I have done this many times. Go to one of the videos that I have forwarded to you. This is where we do it, lumen5.com. Can you guys see my screen, everybody? Yeah, so this is where we prepare our videos. We've done this many times. It's really simple, right? It's really simple. If you want to create a new video, all you have to do is, just say new video, and then, just a few more clicks, and then, you should have it, like, your story. If you remember, I told you to write a story. So, put your story here, and then, choose the, I always like to choose Twitter because it limits you to 140 seconds. And I always like this focus, to create my video. So it's pretty straightforward. You have to just simply, come, whatever storyline that you have created, start putting that storyline over here, not this one. Again, there is a very detailed video here, so please go look at it. Right, I'm not going to create the video right now for you guys. We have created a number of videos. I'm sure So for example, just recently we did this video. I think you can look at all the videos we have created, right? There's so many of them on the Twitter page, etc., etc. So have a look at that. This is another one that myself and Bahana created, a long time ago when NHS launched the COVID contact tracing app. So if you look at it, so this is a video that has been already created. I remember, on the day of NHS launching this app, me, Bahana, Joel, we got together and we started creating this, thing. So if you look at the left-hand side, this is how the story goes. Why should you download the app? And then, the first story point, second story point, third story point, fourth point, So it's got around 20 or so story points, and the right kind of an imagery, around that story point on the right-hand side. Once you have put all these story points, you just simply, preview it and publish it, and you get the video, which you can take it and post it. It's pretty straightforward, everybody. You should be able to do this. This is the third step. The fourth step: identify the target audience to whom the story should be served. Again, we have done this many times, but I'm going to quickly show you this. So this is LinkedIn Sales Navigator, right? Just so that for people who have not seen it, this is how it looks. It doesn't come for free. It is paid. Usually your clients will pay this and give you access to it. Okay. Okay, so the way, meaning I've already demonstrated it a few times. Let's say if you're searching for buck shakes, you are going to do it like this, right? They want to search for potential clients. So they want to search for potential client only in the United States. They don't want to go other places. So if you look at United States, there are more than 166 million people. So, obviously we don't want to, sell to everybody. If I remember right, they only want to go for science teachers, right? Or you can even say STEM teachers. So the moment I put science teachers here, 166 million people became 590,000 people here. You can keep looking at this one to see how they are reducing. It is possible that all of these people maybe needing this could become a potential client for buckchicks.com, right? Then we can use other parameters which are here to narrow down the 590. For example, we can say we want to only put this in front of teachers who have more than 10 years of experience. And that is almost, half of them, 320,000, right? And we also want to put this, let me choose the industry also. There are teachers in law and all these things. So we don't want to be, sending it to those people. We are going to be sending it to the teachers who are in primary and secondary education. So we don't want to go to higher education and hospital and all those places, right? We simply want to put this in front of science teachers in the United States who are in the industry called primary/secondary education. As soon as I did that, I got 1/10, which is 47,000. This is a good number, right? Science teachers in United States who are in the industry called primary and secondary education with more than 10 years. Right? I mean, this more than 10 years is not a good filter, because a teacher who's just joined the school also might be willing to take this up, right, to make a good impression. So it's not a good idea to take more than. I'm going to remove this. My numbers have doubled now, 80,000 results. So maybe there are really 80,000 people that I need to send this out to, right? Is this and if I say search, right, after doing all these things, I should get all of the 80,000 people like this, in this way. Every single person that I could contact. Stacy, Stephen, Shelley, is this clear, everybody? Any questions so far? Yeah. Okay, let's move on. So what is the next step? We have identified the target audience of 74,000 people. Split the target audience into 2,000 people lots by segmenting the potential buyers by either city, industry, seniority, or job roles, right? That's what we need to do now. How do we split the 74,000 into, smaller chunks? I would ideally take, something like, say, like a company head count. It's really easy to, start with companies or schools which has more than 10,000 students. So bingo, I've got only 9,000 teachers, right? Which is a good number. It's now should be really easy for me to divide these, 9,000 people, right? So I've got that, and after that, if I want to, look, there is another thing actually I forgot actually, right? So you don't want teachers. No, I will. It's very dangerous to go there. Let's leave that. Function, education, research, community, social services. Yeah, this is also fine. Oops, sorry. This is fine. We can do a few more things. What else can we do? Yeah, we can do years of work. This we can use as a way to split the 9,000 people, right? It's not like we are not going to send it to the people less than 1 year. We will send it to the people less than 1 year, but just it's useful for segregating the lots so that we know which one to send faster. Maybe then you can ask the bug checks, do you want to start with less than 1 year, which is only 5 people? Wow. Then you can actually bunch all these people together. 630. Yeah, so this could be one list. So there are 630 people here. That could be one list. This could be another list, 2,000 people here, and this could be third list, which again needs to be split up. So let me show you what I mean by this. So this is a good list. I have just created a list with only 630 teachers. So what I'll do, I will save this search as science teachers in US, right? And then the years of experience is the number one division, right? So I would say 1 to 5 years. Then I save it, right? Then I will go back to the same thing. I will put the I will remove all of these things so that, it's not confusing. 3 to 5 years, all this is gone. And then put 6 to 10 years. That should be 2,000 people. Yeah. Get those 2,000 people here. Save it again as science teachers with 6 to 10 years of experience. Save it again, right? And the third I'll do is, obviously, I'll take the more than 10 years bucket and I'll remove the 6 to 10 years bucket, obviously. So if you look at the more than 10 years bucket of science teachers, there are more than 5,000 people. As I said, the rule of thumb is you need to split them around 2,000, right? So this needs to be split into 2 buckets. So I want to look at something which will split this into 2 buckets. I can see if any other things would help for me. Maybe you can choose anything. It's not a big deal because we are anyway going to do this. You can choose maybe no, this is not a good one. Yeah, maybe this is a good one. The problem is this is yeah, I think we can try. No, I wouldn't try this. So you understand what I mean by that, right? So you can choose owners, partners, CXOs, VPs, directors, like this. It will still be 944, and maybe this as well. It will take you to 2,000 people. Yeah, that's it. Search, save, right? Science teachers, blah blah blah. Save it, and the remaining ones, So what have I done? I have taken the total number and kept on saving it, right? So if you go to the list, sorry, you go to searches, it will all be there. Science teachers in US from 1 to 5, science teachers with 6 to 10, and science teachers with blah, blah, blah. So you should have number of these lists at the end of, your thing. You can do up to 15 lists at any point in time. And then you can work with those lists. Let me just pause here. I think this is a very important place. I think it's really important to understand whether you guys have understood this or not. Is this clear, everybody? Because this is a really important step. Yes, Ashma.
I'm just wondering because targeting science teachers for bug checks may not capture or you're not understanding the client, because science, it's nothing, you just mentioned that it's got very little to do with science and more about social and emotional intelligence, and that captures teachers who have skills in PHSE, who teach PHSE in UK or moral science in India. So maybe we are not targeting the right teachers here. So just the search criteria I'm wondering about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe that's a good feedback. Any other feedback? We'll have to check this with the bug checks, right? It's a fantastic feedback. I think many times we believe something is true, and what is the word you said, Ashma? PHSE.
PHSE. In the UK, it's called, those are the
okay,
teachers who teach about,
social emotional learning.
Social emotional intelligence.
See, the other thing is, for example, we can even search for social emotional learning. Okay, maybe I will not do any science. So EUS, primary, secondary, I remove every other filter, right? If any teacher in her LinkedIn has put social emotional learning, okay, then I want to know who they are, right? So if you look at it, there is a very nice, then I'll remove this 10,000 headcount also. So there is 21,000 people who are involved in this industry, primary, secondary education, who has specifically put the word social emotional learning. I think, honestly speaking, I will obviously go through each one of them, like, and see if it applies. But this is even more a direct hit, because you are teaching social emotional learning, and these teachers are saying we are doing that. So why don't we just start with them, right? That's really important. But I'm not saying, because science teachers was something that, the buck chicks themselves told me that they want to go after the science teachers, because it is through them, they were able to get entry, right?
Maybe that's where you need to understand the client, and this is what something you can offer, that these are people who are doing, who are particularly teaching, social intelligence, and whether you want to target these audience as well.
Absolutely. So, I would agree with this, definitely. I would not target science teachers first. I will maybe go with this, even I don't know whether to put this learning, because we are only looking at people inside the world, primary, secondary. So if I remove the word learning and just put social emotional, there are 28,000 instead of 21,000. See, this person has put social emotional teacher. This Amy Borland, is not saying social emotional learning, right? Earlier we are putting something. So by reducing the word learn, we have added 7,000 more people. Look at this social and emotional teacher, social emotional learning specialist. So I think, I would go with this first and finish all the 28,000 teachers who are here. I hope you are really, understanding this, because we have to start working for this client, in the next couple of days and weeks. So, this is very important to understand this, right? And you guys have to convince the client that, this is how we are going to go, right? So these are the, people. This 28,000 people have to be again split into, 14 lists, right? 14 each with 2,000. So it becomes 28. We can first finish all these 28,000 teachers for buck chicks, and then we can start with science teacher or any other teacher, from there onwards. Yeah? I hope this makes sense. I'll just pause here and take any questions you guys have. Any other question from anyone else? I think Kisha, you joined a little late. I'm not sure whether you are able to follow everything, but any other question, guys? Okay. Let me just just keep pushing to the next. Oops, somebody. No, thank you. Okay, so we have now seen. So finally, the last step number 6 is agree the sequence of priority. I mean, not only the priority, right? You have to agree with your client how you're going to reach out to these potential buyers, for each set. Okay, so that's really important. Like Ashma was saying, it's not science; it's basically social emotional learning. Are you guys okay with that? At the end of the day, guys, just remember very carefully. At the end of the day, whatever research you do, whatever great stuff that you come up with, if your client is saying no, start with science teachers, then you start with science teachers, right? We can always advise them to take other routes, but ultimately leave the decision making of whether to start with science teachers or social emotional parameter as a keyword, and the sequence in which you are going to are you going to start with teachers with less than 1 year of experience, or you're going to start with teachers with more than 10 years of experience. Leave that decision and agree that decision with your client. Is that I'm hoping that's clear. So that's the first 6 steps of generating a sales pipeline through LinkedIn Sales Navigator. The next steps, let me just really go through this really quickly. The next steps are you have to create a connection message. So for example, okay, let me just go through this here itself, right? So let me just quickly read these steps and then we'll go back to the thing. Okay, so you have to create a connection message. The first message you are going to send to your potential buyer. Remember, they don't know who you are. Okay, they haven't met Bugchicks. So you are doing this on behalf of Bugchicks. Okay, I hope you are understanding this. You are not sending a connection message from, let's say, your LinkedIn. You are sending it from the LinkedIn of your client. Okay, remember that. So it needs to be less than 300 words, and it also needs to include the URL of the video you have created and hosted on either YouTube or the client's website. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is to create a 300-word connection message on behalf of the client. Of course, send it as well, not just create and send. Start engaging with a prioritized target list through this. Okay, there are 3 scenarios that can happen from here. Customer sees the video and does not want to proceed and does not want to connect with you. I mean, they have seen it, they don't like it, and they don't want to do anything with you. Leave them alone. Customer sees the video and accept your connection. That's very good. Customer does not see the video. There is no red flag, in your thing, right? So if for each of the scenario, what you can do. In scenario 1, you cannot do anything, right? I don't think you can even send a follow-up, message, because you've already, sent them a connection message. Maybe you can do a follow-up message on InMail. This is another feature of LinkedIn, where you can send a message, a follow-up message, via InMail. For scenario 2, because the customer has seen the video, he's accepted your connection, send a very detailed second message with a very clear call to action, like either a meeting with the Bugchicks or send more testimonials about, teachers who have done this before, etc., etc. And then, this is the best case or the best case scenario for you, scenario 2. And scenario 3 also, you cannot do anything. You just wait and send a, follow-up, InMail, right? So this is what we're going to go through right now. Okay, so what's the first step? Create the connection message that you will send to the potential buyer. It needs to be less than 300 words, right? So let's say there is this Amy, whatever, right? So you click on here, press connect. You have to, send a message. You just say, hi, Amy. I haven't thought about a message. Can anybody think of a good starting line? Teaching SCL, because we are talking about SCL, right? Through bugs and whatever insights has been a huge success for over 10 years. I would like to say would love to learn what you think about our work. You can also say our life's work. Then you attach the video. So go to the video. So I'm just taking any video, right? And I'm not really taking. So let's say there's some video. Not this one. Some video, basically. Just take any video. That's this one. This video, and then I have just copied the URL of the video. Come to the place where we're writing it. Put it over here. Space. Many thanks. I think it's Jessica. Jessica or Christy, right? That's it. Is this clear? Hi, Amy. Teaching SCL through bugs and insects has been a huge success for us over the last 10 years. Would love to learn what you think about our life's work. Have a look at, maybe you can say have a look. I'm just being very, very, careful with the words because, I don't want this. So, for example, if I keep typing, it will stop. No, I see, that's it. I'm not able to type any more words because, I've reached the 300 words. Oh, I am able to actually. So I'm not yet reached the 300. So I have more ways to things to say. But this is what I'll do. I'll basically, send this out by just sending this invitation, right? Amy would get this message, from me. So for example, if I just sent it to someone else, it will just come to me as a message, right? And then I can either accept it or reject it or just, whatever, right? So then I go to the next one, Katie. I go to the next one, Trinisha. Obviously, if you do this for 28,000 people, then, it's going to be really difficult. So we can explore, ways to automate this whole thing, right? So that, we are able to send to all of these people, this message that I have just said in a very, in a little bit of a more, automatic way, which I will, teach you guys a little later. Okay, back to the steps. So we have created the connection message, which is what we did just now. We attached the video, and then we sent it to the individual through the LinkedIn Sales Navigator. If they accepted it, we will then have so I can just show you one example. So for example, this is another client of ours, and he wants to if you look at this is a real client with a real message that is going on. If you look at this for quite some time now. So if you choose the message, is this clear, guys, or it's a bit difficult for you to see? Is it better? So, it starts with hi, first name. What we do in the next 30 years will determine the fate of our planet. Each of us has a role in preventing climate change. At spectralite.com, in this case at buckchicks.com, we help companies drive change with our sustainable materials and innovations. Join us in this journey and the YouTube. That's it. There is no space for even, putting the sign, etc., etc. Right? That's all. This was the connection message that was sent to Dr. Hori. Dr. Hori accepted this message 19 minutes ago. And now we have to write the second message, the more detailed, long message, which is also, something that we have prepared. Let me just go down so that, you can see the long message also. Look at the second message. So this was the first message. Hi, Preeti. I'm sure, you guys understand this, right? Good to be connected, so she said. Then you start with the second message. Many thanks for connecting, Preeti. I'm thoroughly impressed with how you have summarized your last 3 decades of experience with, whatever, right? And then this clear call to action. Please let's catch up on, our meeting. Follow us on our LinkedIn or refer us to any other relevant contacts. Kind regards, founder and CEO. She's read it. It's also here. Is this clear how we are trying to do this follow-up? So, you send the first message, you got connected, you send the second longish detailed message with very clear call to action. In this case, there are 3 call to actions. Pause. That's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If you don't have anything else, I'll go to 13, 14, 15. Yeah.
If I can ask.
Yes, please.
You have said there is a way you can automate the message of those people you have researched, you have targeted.
Yeah.
My question is, there is any way you can also automate for the people who have replied for the second message?
Yes, we can automate, but I prefer not to do that because if you look at what we have done here, right? Because each of these person could become a very possible big potential client. Okay, so if you look at what we have done, many thanks for connecting, Preeti. I'm thoroughly impressed with how you have summarized your last 3 decades of experience with humility and integrity as your tools. So this context, you cannot put, if you are automating it.
I understand.
Yeah? You cannot. This is your context, It's very important context. But this you can put, if you automate, you can put, I believe we share the same passion. Yes, of course. Right?
Because there is specific question answer.
Yeah, the reason is, it depends, it depends. If the value of the product that you're selling is, not very high, and, you need to do this at a very large scale, then yes. But here the value of the product we are selling is, extremely high, and we want to personalize every message that goes out as a second message. First message, clearly it's the same message for everybody. But second message, we are, contextualizing it for every single person separately. It's a very good question, Jean-Marie.
Thank you.
Okay. Then, if the conversation takes off, we ask the client to take the conversation on email, right? We don't try to keep on doing this conversation on LinkedIn. I mean, we can, but ideally try to take it, into the email, and pass it back to the client to send an email to the potential buyer directly. And every week you report, what has happened. You report the number of connections you have sent, the number of people who got connected, and the number of people that got connected and responded back to the second message, and possibly the number of people to whom you have actually sent an email as well, right? So 4 things. You start with the connections request sent every week. How many of them connected back with you every week? How many of you responded with a second message? And how many of you are able to successfully, take it to the email? 4th one. If this, coming to the 15th step, if this thing is resulting in less than 5% connections, what does that mean? You send the connection request to 100 people, okay? And then only 5 people connect with you after, let's say, a month. There is something terribly going wrong with what you have written, or your message, or your audience. Ideally, okay, if I show you some of the results of the previous thing that we have done, more than 37% of the people are connecting already within days, not even months. What does that mean? You sent 100 requests, 37 people are connecting back with you within days, not months. In a month's time, maybe even 50, 60 people might connect. So if this result is less than 5% of the connection, then we need to make some kind of a course correction. We need to try a different approach. Maybe the audience that we selected was wrong. Maybe the message we are sending is wrong. Maybe the video that we are making is wrong. Okay, so it's really important that we don't blindly keep sending stuff, right? And this scenario can be anyway. I'll stop here. Think of any questions you have, and there is a new step that I've just thought I'll write. Okay, I'll just pause here for a second. You can ask any questions. I think this is also a good step. Okay, cool. Any questions so far on, this is a long scenario. Like I said, this is the most important scenario that everybody wants to, work with us on. Generating a sales pipeline. So what does generating sales pipeline? In the case of Buckchicks, if let's say some 100 people say that, we will buy this for you, then, we have generated, 100 multiplied by her product is around $100, 120 or something dollars. So it's, we have developed around 126,000 or 126, Yeah, 126.00. Yeah, dollars for her in revenue. So that's what we are trying to do. We are generating a sales pipeline, and we've gone through 15 steps. Understand the challenge, understand what the client has to offer, understand the company of the client. Number one. Number two, understand the product of the client, convert the product into a story, and use Lumen 5 to tell the story. Identify the audience or the potential buyers, split them into bunches of 2,000 people, agree the sequence with the client, create a connection message that you will send to the potential buyer, 300 words maximum, start engaging with them one by one. This also can be automated. There are three things can happen. If they connect with you, accept their connection and send them a bigger message with clear call to action. If they don't connect with you, then send a follow-up email. If they start doing conversation, then take the conversation to the email. Do not simply keep talking on the LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Take the conversation to the client's email, not your email, the client's email. Every week, report the number of connections that you made, report the number of connections that got accepted, etc., 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 back to the client using the WhatsApp. If this is resulting in less than 5% of success, you sent 100 requests, only 5 of them accepted. That means you're doing something terribly wrong. You have to relook at what you're doing and correct it. I've just added this new step. We can check using something like a Google Analytics. So you have to implement Google Analytics for buckchicks.com website. And if any of them has gone from LinkedIn to buckchicks.com and bought a product, then we will know very clearly that it is because of our campaign that people are buying her product. Okay, so we can use this product to finally know whether somebody have actually bought the product or not, right? Which is what ultimately we want to happen. So these are the steps, 16 steps. I'm sure it will keep increasing more and more as we find more this thing. So this is what you need to do, guys. Again, I'm warning you, I'm telling you that you have to start working for this is just a sample scenario, but you have to start working. So you have to ask any doubts that you might have right now, so that it becomes clear to everybody. Now you can maybe come on video, and then we can just have a conversation. I'm done with this scenario. So I just want, if anybody had any questions or doubts, or I'm sure Bahara, you have done this for so many clients, so you might have even more interesting doubts or even more interesting things. So if there is anything you might want to add to this, please feel free. And Kisha, Yahya, Zunaid, Karthik, Farooq, if you guys have anything to add, please feel free to add. Any questions, guys? Any questions, comments?
I have one question. Because through your presentation, there is an introduction of Google Analytics, and just to confirm if we are going to get also some tips on how to implement it to our clients, maybe website.
Implementing Google Analytics is a 5-minute job. Every client that I've ever worked with has already done it, right? They will always have, the day you put a website, the first thing you do is to link it with the Google Analytics. It's really easy to do it. It's literally going and telling what is the name of your website, and Google will start analyzing it from tomorrow. You can just Google for it, and I can send you a link on how to do this also. It's really easy. And then we can know how through Google Analytics, we'll know who came in and who bought it, how many people bought it, etc. It is a very tricky one. The clients may or may not give access to us, but it is good to ask them. Okay. You can't do anything bad with Google Analytics. It is just a visualization of what's happening in their website. How many people are visiting it. So, for example, you can say, before you launch this campaign, let's say 10 people are visiting their website, every day. It's like a common number, 10 people, right? And then suddenly, you launch this campaign, 20 people are visiting the website. So that you have contributed to an increase of more than 10 people based on your thing, right? So it's a very good tool to use. I can show you Google Analytics, but it's really simple. I would rather not focus on that. The first 15 steps are more important. Any other questions you guys have? Or let me ask you, Jean-Marie, do you think you will be able to do these steps yourselves if a real client asks you, let's say from tomorrow, or you think you need some practice? Jean-Marie, you're on mute.
Hello, Mr. Anis.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
we need to have a practical part before starting this job, because it seems like it's our first time, and then when you just start up like that, then you mess up things in the field, then the client might be start with the results. So better we have some practicals before we start it with our clients.
Yes.
That's my suggestion.
Yeah. No, we can do that. You can take a challenge yourself. For example, Jean-Marie, you work for a community organization, right? And the community organization might have a LinkedIn, everything, right? You can start whatever I have taught you so far can be done using LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn Sales Navigator is a little bit more precise tool, but you can do everything what I've told you using LinkedIn. So for example, Jean-Marie, you can take your organization, and Yahya, you can take Isra, you can take some organization, a school or some organization that you work for, and try to or you can take yourself. Forget about organization, right? Think you're the chief executive of that organization, and then simply connect with some 100 people with a message, with a video. You understand what I'm saying? I think it's a good idea. So Jean-Marie, do you think you can practice it with your LinkedIn?
Yeah, I can practice, and I believe that always learning is always harder than doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the fear we have once we go through, it will go away.
I think so. You should just check with Bahana. Bahana is now become master. He's doing it for so many clients. So it's really easy. In the beginning it is really very scary, but once you start doing it, it's really easy. It's really easy.
So far the challenge is because this Sales Navigator is always paid. That's why it can be a challenge for us to start for ourselves and go through and see how it works before we go to clients.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. So what you can do, you can use your one. For example, Farouk or Tafail, what you guys can also do, because Sales Navigator is always going to be a problem, right? So let's get out of the Sales Navigator. Let's go to the normal thing, which is so this is the normal LinkedIn, right? You don't need any money or anything like this for here. Okay. So here also you can do search. Okay. Say for example, what did we say? We said social emotional learning, right? In people. Yeah. So that's it. So social emotional learning, right? I've got these filters. You don't need to really do anything. I mean, please don't send it to United States. Choose your course, right? Choose a course for you. Maybe you want to talk to all the people in Kenya. I don't know, right? So talk to all the people in Kenya. You can change the thing. It could be some other. Jean-Marie, what was the name of the community that you talked about?
We don't have LinkedIn so far.
Oh, okay. No. This is your LinkedIn. Okay, so don't worry about. So you logged into your Jean-Marie LinkedIn, or Isra, your LinkedIn, on Farouk, your LinkedIn, and do this simple search, right? Like this. This is the LinkedIn search, and you're getting all these Carol and Nandi and Alex and all these people. And here you can basically just click on here, right? And then connect, add a note. Hi, Carol. You can even say my name is this, and I'm this thing. I would love to connect with you. That's it. Just as a practice. Are you with me, Isra? Is this something that you feel comfortable doing? Farouk, do you feel comfortable doing this? This is really simple. There is no automation, right? It's a very simple search.
Yeah, this
social
part
emotion.
is very simple. I can do that.
Yeah. And what we are trying to do is, it's the same thing, right? It's really the same thing. Here the number of filters is less. That's all. You can only do so many filters, right? But in Sales Navigator, it's like lots of filters. I'm sure you can see. Look at this. So many filters are there. So it's just the number of filters that vary. Because of the filters, you can't go. Is there any challenge, or is there any say for example, just as a simple thing, right? Let's connect with everybody who said Kakuma in their in their profile. Just as a you can't go bad, right? To connect with everybody. So if you look at it, all these people have so more than 2,000 people are here. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, it's Kakuma. Oh no, I don't want to go here. Okay, here. So all these people have said something about Kakuma, right? Every one of these people, including your head of sub office at Kakuma, right? Ignacio Martini, right? I'm sure you guys know this guy, right? So we can connect with all of these people. I think this looks like Paul to me. I don't know. So, is this difficult to do? Connect, add a note, write a message. Hi, my name is Isra. I'm from the Kakuma refugee camp. I'm, learning to, become an expert on social media learning. And I'm very keen to connect with you. That's it. You don't need to say some, but it would be also good if you created a video on Lumen 5, Isra, like this. Something about yourself or your work, or, something about you, or something that tells about who you are or what you do or the cause that you stand for, right? So you follow the same protocol, right? You follow the same protocol. You understand a little bit more about yourself or the work that you do. You create a video, you identify this audience, and then you start reaching out. I'll share these steps with you guys, okay? All of these steps, so that you don't have to search for it. But then you can go and you feeling comfortable, guys? You should be able to do this. Everybody's quiet. Kiza, Yamari, can you guys try and do this? And
I think you explained very nicely, Anis. So they should just go try, do it, and then it'll be much easier. Maybe there are a few questions, but I think in terms of what you explained, it's as good as it can get.
Cool. No, thanks, Karthik. I think it's pretty straightforward. For people who have done it a few times, like Bahana has done it so many times. But when you're trying to do this for the first time, it is a bit daunting. Wow, so many steps, video. So let's see. Jean-Marie, do you have an idea how you want to do this for yourself? First use it for yourself. Use your LinkedIn. Choose a reason why you want to connect with the people of Kakuma, or people who have said Kakuma in their LinkedIn, and send a message and see what happens. Is that fair? Can we try that? I think Isra has come back. I hope. So shall we call it a day, guys? I think I'm done. What I'll do, I'll share this steps with you, and you guys should try to use the steps. Use your own LinkedIn profile, and try to execute the whole action. Yeah, is that okay, Jean-Marie?
Very okay.
Hey, Isra.
Maybe with that goal, Anis, that may increase some more connections from each of their LinkedIn profile, if they have.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I don't know. Jean-Marie, do you have a LinkedIn?
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing your LinkedIn. I think it should be there on my thing actually. You know, maybe you connected with me, right? If I'm not wrong, you know.
Yeah. Amarin Dikumana.
Okay, no space. What did it say? K is CO something? No.
NKNDI
NBI.
yes. KUMANA.
Probably I'm not able to find
Yeah.
you, but I remember you connected with me actually. You know. Yeah, I think it's okay. I think you should be able to log in as yourself, search for all the people in Kakuma, or anything. It could be Kakuma, it could be anything. You should be able to do it without any big issue. Okay. What? Any other question, Isra? I don't know whether you were able to or shall we call it a day? Can you guys go back and practice this? What happened to Jean-Marie? Do you send a message, Jean-Marie? I think you said something. Oh, okay, this is your. Okay, I got it. Yeah, I got it. So, any other questions? Otherwise, we'll close the call today. See if you can practice. Sorry, Isra, I'm not able to hear you. Maybe you can type, Isra. I think I'm not able to hear you. Jean-Marie, can you hear Isra?
No, I can't.
You can't, right? No, something is not right actually. I'm not able to hear her. But Isra, if you have any doubts, you can ask me on the. You can actually chat here if you want to type your question. There is a chat button here where you can just type, here actually, yeah. What about Tofile? Is this easy Tofile? Were you able to identify, understand, and follow us? Okay.
Yeah, actually, my internet was really not good here today, and I couldn't hear something clearly. And so far, what I have understand about today's lesson, I hope I could do it.
Excellent. Yeah. I think create a LinkedIn first of all. I think you guys are all trying to do that. Create your LinkedIn, and
Yeah,
maybe,
I have already my LinkedIn account, and
very good, very good.
Yep.
Very good. Very good. Then you just need to maybe connect with anybody and everybody who's something to do with your course. So try to do that as much as possible. So you get an understanding how to work with LinkedIn.
Yeah. I got understanding about how to work on LinkedIn, and I know how to connect with people in LinkedIn and how to follow them. Yeah.
But Tofile, you have to follow the advice, right?
Yeah. I must
You have
follow
to
the advice.
you have to you have to create a message which is which has to look extremely professional. You have to you have to create a video that introduces who you are or your cause or whatever, right? Number 2.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Number 3, number 3, yeah, Isra, I got your message. I'm going to answer your message. Okay. So first, don't do it lightly. Think you are the client. Okay. Then only you'll do it seriously. If you think, let me write, hello, hi, my name is Tofile. I want to talk to you. Don't waste your precious request. Write a proper request. It should look like a proper request. and attach a video clip. URL has to be, a video is 100% you have to attach. It has to, the video has to be about you or your problem or your cause or something that, you know, you stand for, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, send it to them. Okay. Okay, Isra, you are saying I have a request. Can you please send today's teaching through PDF? Yeah, I can send it through PDF, which is basically the document, right? The set of steps. You know, step 1, step 2, step 3, all that thing. Isra, that's what you want, right? Okay. No, we can easily send it. I can definitely send that as a PDF also. Yeah, definitely. Anything else? What about Keisha? Keisha, you have any questions? Any other questions, Jean-Marie? Profile, you are okay?
Yeah, and also please send us the PDF file in our group. Yeah.
No. Video, so definitely I'll send. Don't worry about it. I'll send the video, but for people who cannot access the video, I will also send all the steps so that, you know, you can you know, have a look at all the steps.
Yeah, right.
So are you you know, so let's see how this goes. I will let's see. Sorry, somebody is saying something?
Yes.
Wow, I can't hear anything actually. I don't know. Jean-Marie, are you saying something?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can't hear anything, Jean-Marie. It's okay. I think, you know, you can, if you can type, it will be good. But otherwise, I think you know. No, it's I think Jean-Marie's end, it's not good actually. Some connection problem probably. But that's okay. I think I'll send the video and you guys can take a look at it. Okay, guys. I think, you know, today it's Jean-Marie. I can't hear you, Jean-Marie. It's unfortunately, you know, your internet connection is not very good. But I'll send the video. Chat with me on WhatsApp, right? And then you can, you know, we'll take it from there. I'll send all the steps so that you can follow it. Okay. All right, guys. See you then. I will talk to you next week. Okay. Bye.
Okay,
Isra.
thank you
Bye.
so much.
Bye, Jean-Marie.
Bye.
Bye, Keisha. Bye, Tafael.
Thank you so much.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
guys. Bye.